On episode 42 of Mega Real Estate Talk, what open house secrets every realtor needs to know? Let's do it.
You're listening to Mega Real Estate Talk with Jared Davis and Galen Parker, your source for an honest, insightful look into Central Virginia's real estate market. Combined, Jared and Galen have over 20 years sales experience, as well as hundreds of testimonials from clients past and present who rely on them for advice and assistance when buying and selling homes in today's incredibly hot and competitive real estate market. And now, your hosts, Jared Davis and Galen Parker.
I am Jared Davis.
And I am still Galen Parker.
Yes, you are. Another episode of Mega Real Estate Talk. Here we are.
We are here, and I love it.
If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, if you're on your favorite podcasting, whatever you call it, application or venue or channel, feel free to subscribe there as well.
We appreciate it. We
Comment
love talking
below.
to you.
What do you
We've been
wanna-
getting great feedback, and I'm super psyched.
It's been good.
We've set meetings off, and some people are like, can we just meet and talk? I'm like, absolutely.
Channel's growing. If you want to grow your real estate business, please call us. Let us know how we can help you today. We're happy to partner with you no matter where you are in the country and or world. We're launching people out of country at this point. So
I don't care if you started your business 2 days ago or 20 years ago. We're here to help.
that's right. Call us, message us. You can contact us anywhere. We're very Googleable. Let us know. We can help you. Galen, what's new?
I'm handicapped.
Ah,
I'm not feeling great. I'm
Just-
not at 100%.
what happened to you?
Being me, I'm out in the yard, and we've kind of just, do we even need to, is this the highest best use for it? But I'm putting the sign in the yard myself.
Putting in work.
Just putting in work, man. In the
Okay.
summertime, I was wearing a full tuxedo. No, I wasn't. But I'm like putting the sign up. I step on a timber. When you do not maintain your home, the timber rolled, stepped on the timber, rolled, and my ankle rolled over. And it made the sound which I've been describing as if you take a sock and put 12 eggs in it and then just smash it. That is the sound that my ankle and foot made. And then I immediately screamed super loud. I screamed so loud that I cupped my own mouth. Like how did this? Like that the sound escape from me?
Like you were kidnapping yourself.
Exactly. I was like, "Ah!" So then I was just like, oh my goodness, this, and like I knew it immediately. I was like, I didn't want to look at it. I started getting like cold chills and stuff, and I'm
Jeez.
like, oh my god. I was like, is it my leg is even still there? Like, am I just dragging like a slump?
So how bad is it?
Not great. So I got in the car. I was like,
When did this happen?
maybe last Wednesday, Thursday, probably last Wednesday, because that's when I actually put the sign in.
Huh.
And I got in the car, and I'm like, all right, you know what? The pain is just radiating up my leg, so it starts getting stiff as I'm driving, and I'm like, not good. So I got it all wrapped up. I've got different braces on it, and everyone's like, so what are you gonna like take the day off? I'm like, nah, I showed like 7 houses the next
Just
day.
limping
because
around.
I was like, this is a great look at this. But my clients were all just like, oh my goodness. I had like one client, he was just like, let's just reschedule. But I had another client, she was like, I really need to see some houses. I'm like, and I really need
Most
for
clients
you.
don't care. I've been like,
Yeah.
I've got COVID. They're like, we won't stand near you.
Yeah,
Like, okay.
we'll keep a mask on. I'm like, I
right.
got a fever. They're like, we'll bring an ice pack. Let's
Just
go see
open
this
the
house.
door and sit in the car.
But you know, it's part of. I charge it to the game.
Yeah.
I'm here to work hard. I'm not a quitter. I know that might have sidelined some people. As I'm sitting here, it hurts right now, but
Well.
I'll take some Advil after we eat some food.
All right.
Shout out to the big machine, Daniel Harnsberger, who invited me over to like go lay in his like 100-gallon ice bath.
It's like gonna be another video series.
It might be. It was like dudes in ice bath talking
Yeah.
about.
Could y'all be in the same ice bath? Like, is it?
No.
Oh,
It'd be really
like Kevin
good.
Hart.
Like if it was this big enough that y'all could both sit like feet to feet
That would
and
be
talk
really
real estate
weird.
in the ice bath.
I mean, that thing would have to be like 8 feet, 9 feet
He's
long.
a tall dude.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all could interlock legs, so it doesn't have to be as long.
This
You
seems like
could
it's
call
getting-
it chilling real estate.
I mean, this seems like it's killing it and chilling it in real estate. We're gonna do something. Him and I were like, we should do something funny, like maybe like just like some self pictures in there. But I'm actually looking forward to it because I'm like, will this actually help my body? And he's like, oh yeah, that'll make you feel a lot better. So
Best
we're
friend
doing
team
that.
up. Talk that for a second.
Best friend team up is scorching the internet
What-
right
Who
now.
knew?
What
Who
did-
knew?
What did we do?
All right, so the first best friend team up number 1, and Mike, I don't know how you got to do this. Like, link some videos into it. Best friend team up is for our flip. We both roll up in Porsches. Slight mild confrontation, and then we both come to the realization that the greatest thing ever that can happen is going to be best friend team up. And so in tandem, we do a house tour
Together.
together.
And all the realtors are just loving it.
I mean, people are like, this is amazing. We love this. This is so brilliant. Tell them about like the comments.
I mean, the amount of realtors that are like, we're copying this in our market.
I know. I saw that part. I was like, "Brrr."
So many people. And then the second best friend team we did, we just had a dance party in this house
Yeah.
because it was like an investment house. And I was like, how do you market this house?
The second one,
that's
we were
not
just
very
thinking
nice.
like, all right, we want to do a best friend team up, but like, you can't be the same one. And then we're just like, let's do what Jared and Galen do best.
That's right, dance together.
Dance together and sell houses. And
That's
I'm
right.
like, we combine those. That one I think is better in different ways because
I mean,
people are just
I
like,
was laughing when I was editing.
People are
that.
like, this is tremendous.
I've gotten so many. I mean, people on TikTok, people on Facebook, Instagram. They're just like, "How is this not going viral? I've never seen anything like this." So
You'll have to- you'd have
hit
to
the
look at
link
our-
somewhere.
It'd be
I
our
don't know how
other
that
channel.
works.
See, you're on Mega Agent
You can probably
Academy.
link another channel. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Our channels are linked. If you go to Living in Richmond, you'll see our tours. Look for Best
Or
Friend
just
Team
put
Up.
in a comment that say like, "How do I get to it?" We'll respond to that. But it was a blast, and we won. If you're an agent in the business, you've got a best friend. Please hashtag best friend team. But we want to see your videos. We want to see what you guys.
This
come
might
up
be
with.
a thing.
Oh, it's definitely a thing.
Well, Jared and I,
it-
we're both. a
I mean,
thing.
I know, but I'm saying
keep
like
doing this.
this might be a new series.
I mean,
it's hard to think like what we would do, but we can come up with more ideas.
I've got ideas. All right, Mike,
deep dive us.
deep dive us.
OMG. Versace rich. I'm rich. OMG.
All right. This one's terrible, Mike. Fade me out. Fade me out immediately. Still not fading.
Still playing.
Just still going.
Hey, can
There
we
it
just
goes.
apologize to all of our listeners and viewers that had to listen to that
Mike
deep dive
Mike
music?
chooses
It
our
was just
music,
awful.
not us. Okay. What are we doing? What open house secrets?
All right, so here's the thing. We're going to talk about open house secrets. A lot of people say, "Oh, I do open houses." Do you? You probably have not done it the way you should. You haven't realized your full potential, and that's what Jared and Galen are here to do. We're trying to help you realize some of the things that you could be doing. Jared, you've had some great success in open houses, even though you don't do them that often.
I typically have gotten a client out of every one that I've done over the last, 2 years probably, but you are right. I very rarely do them. I mean, maybe I've done 2 or 3, but I don't know. I always hit it off. We like to dazzle, as we say, at
Yeah.
open houses.
We've talked about that before. the need to dazzle the client that wanted to see those 7 houses that we mentioned in the intro. That's an open house client, and what I love about that is that she had a realtor prior to that, and she was with a friend, and she was just like, "You need to get rid of that realtor because you can't get her on the phone. And she's not willing to help you." And then like the next day, I like picked up. I called him like, "Hey, just want to thank you, and if you need," and she was like, "Oh, okay." She was kind of hesitant, and then literally 2 days later, she's like, "Can you show me this house?" And I'm like, "Girl, I will show you so many houses."
But isn't that funny how so many realtors will be like, "Oh, I did an open house and everybody there already had a realtor." But it's like, how many times do they come in and have a realtor that just isn't helping them?
Yeah.
So I mean that's probably like number one. Don't go poaching all your friend realtors, clients. We're not telling you to do that. But just keep in mind, a lot of times when people tell you they have a realtor, it's just an excuse. They've got like a search set up, but no one's actually talking to them.
yeah.
Or they talked to a list agent one time on a property, or they went to another open house and talked to another agent, and they're like, "Oh, I've got somebody," right? But it's very rare that these people are actually really committed. So look at that.
I love it. And would you want to start the tips, or we want to talk? How do you want to? Because I was just thinking a lot of that has to do with your the registration of the person when they come in.
We'll just run them backwards.
Well,
All right.
let's
Let's just run them backwards.
I just didn't want am I going to remember making the connection
Let's
between
connect
these
it.
2 points?
So if you listen to our last episode, episode 41, we talked about what's the best CRM to use. And one of the things that a good CRM can do, not all of them do this, but we have one that does, it actually gives you a registration website for each and every one of your open houses. So what we do when we come in is we actually have a registration form on the computer with a website that's built out for that open house, or we put in a QR code on the door. And what does that allow us to do, Galen?
So the QR code I use the QR code. I do not do the computer thing. I do the QR code, and I help them walk them through it because that starts a conversation and it kind of helps. And I think every time that they walk in the house, I need to be engaging. I need to be touching them. But the QR code basically says Jared Davis registered at this open house at this time, and it immediately ports into your CRM. And now, if you're on our team or you're someone like me, I've already created an action plan for those that come in so that automatically the next day they're getting an email and a text from me. And
Yep.
it's usually a thank you, like, hey, thank you so much for stopping by.
Yep.
Really appreciate it. And so I have one for people who say I have an agent, and then I've got a different one for people who say that you don't have an agent.
Yeah, because the problem is most agents, when they start doing open houses, they bring a stack of their business cards.
Yep.
And the way that they figure they're going to get business is by handing out their business card to everybody that comes in.
Call me.
And then that person's just going to call them and buy a house. Now, while that can happen, and I've had it happen, what you realize is you want to make sure that you're actually getting every single person's info that comes through the house. If you go down to your local association of realtors, a lot of times they sell a big old book that's like open house registrations. You remember those back
Yeah.
in the day where you, hey, just fill in the list, and it was like a funeral guest book, and you're like, hey, can you
Who stopped by?
That's it,
Sorry
right?
for your loss.
But that's so difficult because over time, what's going to happen? You're going to have this book that's this thick, and you're going to have all these notes on these houses you don't remember.
Unless you're
And,
disciplined, right?
I mean, even if you are disciplined, it goes back to the CRM conversation. You have a
Yeah.
notebook of 100, 200 names, and like, are you really going to make good use of that? And, I mean, how's it really going to go for you? Really, it's not going to go well. So
I love that, yeah.
If you can actually make sure they're registering into your CRM in the very beginning, what that will also do a lot of times is it will get them into your system if you have any kind of remarketing or targeting. Again, if you listen to the last podcast, episode 41, you'll hear about all that. But ultimately, someone could walk out of your house and then automatically start seeing homes on social media,
Beautiful.
seeing your face. And now what do they think? Well, now they're like, man, I just met that guy over in that open house. Now I'm seeing houses. I see that.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere,
He's
right?
a huge agent.
So that is like secret number one.
I love it.
Even though that's out of order, it's probably farther down into the line. That is our first secret, is to
Yeah.
make sure you're actually registering these people properly, so that you can follow up the next day, because that should be your first 3 hours of prospecting on Monday morning
How's
after
it-
that Saturday, Sunday open house. Now you're calling back all those people that came into that open house to say, hey, well, how can I help you? If you could get an MLS search set up for them Monday, great. But if you were really smart, you probably would have got one set up for them while they were in the open house. Hey, what do you think? Well, this isn't the one for us, I don't think. Oh, really? Well, what are you looking for? Let me see what's available. Oh, yeah, I got a list of 12. You mind if I email them to you? Bam. Now you got an MLS search. Your face is in their email every single day now. They're in your CRM. You're already starting off that relationship of adding value before they ever realize they committed to you.
One of my favorites that, and I locked him down last year, is that did the exact same thing. He was like the last guy who was just kind of hanging around. He was like, oh, I like this house, but it's not really what I'm looking for. He's like, this is the area that I want. So I'm like, all right, let's look at some of these. And we went through, and he was like, oh, what is that one? He looked at it, and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, you wanna go see it like right now? And he was like, do you have time? I'm like, yeah. Hit showing requests, schedule the showing. Went with him to that. He FaceTimed his wife. We didn't go for that house, but he was like, once we hit that show, I
Yep.
knew he was mine.
Yep.
That we were together forever. Like, they just sent me pictures on Instagram of their vacation. Like, we were
There you go.
like together forever. So I mean, if you can engage a person like that, that's you're undefeated in your open house journey.
right. Secret number 2, promoting correctly.
Yeah.
So many agents, they put it in MLS like they should, and then it goes out to the websites, and then they show up on the day of the open house and hope people come in, and they're like, great, I'm putting myself out there. But what are they missing as far as opportunity to be
Yeah.
able to get themselves out there for every open house that they do?
So there's a couple of them. I'm going to let's talk just social media
Okay. Yeah.
very quickly. Everyone on our team, and I think our team does a better than average, when they've got an open house and they've already created a graphic that shows time, date, and all that stuff, and they blasted it all over social media. Now, that could be Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook is going to be a good one because you can generate an ad off that. But in addition to just the simple post, for our team, you can put a link. Now, Jared, what does the link do that kind of like pulls people into these open houses?
So our link, you're talking about that
Forced registry.
For the forced registration, essentially, we can put that house out there, and when they click the link to bounce to our website, it's going to make them register before they can ever look at anything. Now, as a consumer, you may be saying, I hate that. I hate when people make me register. As the realtor, we love it, because if I can get 20,000 people to our website, or 20,000 people to see this open house blast, and out of that, 10% go to our website, and now 2,000 people on our website, and then out of that 2,000 people, 5% of the people actually will go through and register. That's 100 new leads we got off of marketing that open house that now
Yeah.
we can call, invite to the open house, see if they want a private showing, see what they're looking for. So now we've just generated 100 people to call before we ever even had the open house.
And that's a big one that I've been like really trying to get with agents about. It's like when the person registers, yes, they want to see pictures, but do you call them and invite them?
Yep.
Hey, Mr. Davis, this is Galen Parker. I noticed that you checked out 123 Main Street. I just wanted to remind you that I'm doing an open house there. Would love for you to come. It's going to be this Saturday between 2 and 4. And they're like, oh yeah, I just looked at the house. It's 2 or 4. I'm like, that's the best way to constantly engage them.
Yeah.
Other than just being like, I hope someone shows up. This will give you a hard number. Like, are you going to show up? Are you not?
Yep.
Like if they're saying, oh, I can't make that. You're like, oh, no problem. Then you've got them on the phone. What you'd also do, well, what are you looking for?
Yep.
Why did you click the button? A lot of people who click our buttons, they're either looking to sell or they're thinking about purchasing. Are you one of those?
Yep.
You've already engaged them. Utilize this opportunity. That's all. That is just from a social media post.
And a lot of agents that are looking to do open houses are doing it because they need the business. They need a way to get their name out there. They need leads. And they're already most of the time saying, I don't know what to do on social media. I don't know what to post. I don't know how to get. And so this gives you content to say, look at this listing. Doesn't matter if it's not your listing, right?
Yeah.
Who cares? Your friends don't know that. They just see that you're doing an open house and that you're staying busy. Then you get to the open house and you can film video. You can film pictures. What do you think about this, right? All of those things make it look, even if you aren't, that you're working. But if you are working, it's showing people, hey, I am working. I am busy in this business. You should come out. You should use me. You should call me. So not only are you affecting your sphere of influence people, if you're using a good CRM and you're marketing out links, then you could be gathering leads. And then on top of that, now hopefully you start promoting in person. Let's talk door knocking.
Door knocking is one of my favorites because I'm a people. I hate to say I'm a people person, but I'm a person that I need to be interacting with someone. I can't be in a room by myself. That'd just be miserable. I like door knocking because one, it's dependent on when you go. So many people are like, oh, I got an open house this afternoon. I'm going to go door knock. I'm like, well, you've already lost, right? You need to door knock, in my opinion, almost 1 to 2 days before the open house. Get in front of the neighbors and just say like, hey, Mr. Davis, my name is Galen Parker. I'm your realtor's favorite realtor. I am doing a open house at 123 Main Street for the Jones family. I just wanted to invite you guys out. Maybe if you want to come in for a private tour before the open house, we're just getting all the neighbors. Just love to get your feedback about the community, about the neighborhood. People love giving their feedback.
Gosh, do they love giving opinions.
Hey, I know you're. Hey, listen, I know you're not looking to sell your house, but I would just love your feedback on some of the things in there. Let me. I'll go right now.
On my way.
I'm like the baby's crying in the back. Yeah, they'll be fine. They'll be crying when I get back. So they're like, I want to give the feedback. That one-on-one time, that is going to be critical because that's how you make them love you. That's how you make them want to use you as a realtor when they start seeing the service that you provide for them. So you've got to do it.
After it sells, you can go back and door knock again and
Yep.
say, hey, I met you from that open house the other day.
I remember you.
Just want to let you know we ended up getting 5-6 offers on this thing. It's sold. If you know anybody else looking to sell, we got 5 people that are still looking for a house in here, right?
Yeah.
So are you taking all those opportunities, or are you just looking at it as a 2-hour window and showing up?
Just
right?
something I got to do before I can go to the movies.
Exactly. If you're pre-planning, if you're marketing, if you're door knocking, if you're door knocking after, if you're posting during, if you're posting before, you've got social media opportunity, sphere opportunity, lead opportunity, new client conversation opportunity, all of that wrapped into just promoting that open house. And imagine if you're doing that once or twice a week, right? If you're doing an open house once or twice a week, think about all of the sphere touches that you can have by doing that. Secret number 3.
Just before we go, I just wanted one more thing.
Okay. Fine.
One more thing about door knocking.
Just ruin
I love
the flow.
to do.
Just ruin the flow.
I'm sorry,
It's
everyone.
fine.
The day of the open house, I do a little bit of door knocking, and that's my whole apology thing. Like, hey, Mr. Davis, we're doing an open house. If there's someone parks in front of your mailbox or in front of your driveway and they're in the way, here's my card. Just let me know. I'll get it taken care of. Thank you so much for your patience. We just want to make sure the neighborhood is as beautiful as it was when we got here.
So safe.
That's my little one.
What's the craziest door knocking story?
I did have one where I was newer in the agent, super excited. And I'm like, hey, Mr. Davis, we're doing an open house. And he's like, do you not see that no soliciting sign? And I'm like, I'm looking around. I don't see it. You know why? Because it's on his front door, and his front door is open. So the only way I could see it is if I go all the way up to there and peer into his house.
It's like a storm door.
Yeah, it was like a
there's
trick. It was like
yeah.
I'm like, no, I didn't see it because your door's open. He was just like, what? What do you think that means? I'm like, all right, have a great day, sir. But I mean, people are
whatever.
guys like that. They're going to be like that. All right, number 3.
Secret number 3. How many lead-in signs are too many lead-in signs?
This is something that's kind of new to me, and I'll admit, 1, I don't do it. 2, I can see how it would work amazing. We recently got word that an agent is using 20 to 25 lead-in signs, arrow and directionals.
What?
Yep.
20 to 25.
Does he not have an iPhone or something, or like?
I get it. No, I get why he's doing it, because if I'm driving out on a Saturday morning and I see all these like signs, I would be like, what is going on? And I would probably go to pop in just to see like, what is the circus? I do wonder about like municipalities and like, are they going to be okay with you like littering the area? Like, how long is it before they show up and be like, hey, so there's a fine for each one. So you've got to check.
Is this off of Knuckles? There's
no, it's not.
an agent I know.
No.
This guy is in Pennsylvania, and like they do a ton of business. So it's like I know it definitely works, but that is something to think about. Now, maybe you don't do 20.
Well, I mean, do whatever he feels right.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, think about it. Maybe it's not your listing that you're doing the open house on. So when they get that sign in the yard, it just says open Saturday 12 to 2, and then it's not your sign. So if they want to inquire, they're not going to call you. But imagine if you had 5 to 10 to 15 lead-in signs on turns, on main roads, on whatever,
Jared Davis,
with your phone number and your name and open house and like, you know, whatever that marketing is on that sign with the arrow pointers, right? But that has all your information. How many calls could you get a year if you had that going again every week, where 10 to 15 signs a week were out in different neighborhoods? How many times would you get a call that says, hey, I can't make the open house. Could you show it to me privately? Hey, we're looking to sell in the neighborhood. I love what you're doing with all these signs.
One takeaway that I did think was kind of neat, like he's got those, and he said some of them are just directionals, just that way, this way. And he just says when you see a lot of those, the human brain is conditioned to follow it. He's like, so if you're seeing all this, you're probably going to be like, man, I wasn't planning on going to an open house, but you're like, well, let's just see. And I thought to myself, man, that is good. That's smart. And then I love putting the balloons on there. So how many is too many? Don't ask us, because we're always going to do more than necessary.
Market all you can.
Yeah.
Our last secret.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
A lot of times agents tell us, I don't have a listing for an open house. I don't have any people to give me their open houses. So ultimately, one of the biggest things for agents to figure out is, how do I even set up an open house if I don't have a listing every weekend to do it on?
Yeah.
Right? Maybe you do have a listing a couple times a month or every week or multiple a week, and you don't have that issue. But you could be saying, man, I don't have the inventory to be able to do as many open houses as I want. So you got two options, right? One seems pretty standard. You ask around your office. For us, since we're EXP, our brokerage is statewide. It's not a franchise, so we figure we're kind of connected to everybody in the state. So it's pretty easy to just log into MLS and go to our office active listings and then run through a list, and we can start making calls to those agents to say, hey, we see you got one listed in an area we like. Could we do an open house? So that's number one.
Sure.
If you don't have your own, or if you're not on a team that's providing them. Our team looks in the MLS all the time at EXP's active listings, probably sets up 4 to 5 open houses a week just looking at other people's. But the other thing that you could be missing, and the bigger secret, would be for sale by owner open houses, right? Because some of you maybe aren't calling FSBOs as it is, but maybe some of you are, and you just don't know how to talk to them, because, you know, you call them and you say, well, hey, are you looking for a realtor? Well, obviously not. They have chosen to for sale by owner, so they don't want to hear from realtors, right? But how can we use a FSBO open house to convert business on multiple levels, Galen?
I was just thinking about just like the mind of a for sale by owner. And as an agent, you always have to come from a point of service. And so you can call them up and just say, hey, look, I know you're set on selling the house. You're for sale. That's smart. I totally understand it. You know, if you, with the market being the way it is, houses are flying off the market. Would you mind if I personally did an open house for yours? I'm going to spend all my own ad dollars. I'm going to promote it online. I'm going to put the signs out. I'm going to bake the cookies. All I need is just maybe like Saturday from 2 to 4. That way we can just generate some traffic. A lot of for sale by owners are willing to do that, because you told them, I get it, you're selling yourself, and 2, it's not going to cost them anything.
Yep.
Now, one caveat is that you might have the conversation with them to say like, hey, if I do bring a buyer and I get them pre-approved, are you going to pay the buyer's commission?
Exactly, right? So essentially you're saying, look, I don't want to try to list your house.
Nope, not trying to do that.
That's not what we're trying to do. But as a top agent in the area, we want to know what kind of inventory is out there for our buyers. And to be able to sell them a house, I need to at least be able to see the house. I need to look at the house, maybe grab some pictures of the house. Is it okay if I look at this thing, if I check it out at some point to see if we have any buyers? Okay, you are paying a commission for that? Great. Hey, let me take it a step further. If I was to take my own marketing, my own money, and market your house for sale as an open house, would you allow me to do that? Now, think about it like this. You could also be saying to yourself, well, if I really want to market it out in my jurisdiction, I really should have a listing agreement. Well, if that's the case, if the seller's on board, one thing you can even do is say, hey, would you be opposed to just signing a 2-day listing agreement so that I can actually go market this thing hard for you, right? Now, if you do that, it actually gives you the ability to now put it in MLS even if you wanted to, right? Now, they may not be paying you on that side unless maybe to get them to sign it, you say if I sell both sides, maybe it's, and you can negotiate whatever you want, right? We're not getting into the negotiation commission. But if you get that signed and say, hey, 48 hours, 3 days, 5 days, whatever, you could technically get a listing in MLS, advertise the open house, right? And then push everybody to that open house for buyers to do a contract.
Yeah.
If they don't sell the house, you've already added value to this for sale by owner. When they inevitably don't sell their house, maybe they'll call you to actually list it for good, right? Hey, you've already signed paperwork. We just need to change some dates. We'll put it in for sure. Because here's the thing. It would also be the seller setting things up. So even if it went in MLS, let's say other agents saw it and tried to set it up. I mean, technically, you can do whatever you want to do, but hey, man, sorry, they just want me to do this open house. We put it in for that. That's it. Send your clients, I guess, yada, 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 yada.
Yeah.
And then when it's all said and done, you can say, hey, well, we did have 20 showing requests from other agents, but since that's not what we were doing here,
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, I couldn't, like...
Sorry, man, we don't have, like, a lockbox on there,
like,
and,
if you want me to extend it?
And I know I'm not representing you, so I couldn't talk for you, but we do have 20 people that want to see the house if it didn't sell, if you want to, so you're right. So think about the potential there. You could get a seller out of it.
I love it.
You get the open house people out of it, right? However you want to do it.
One thing I've done in the past is, like, I call, hey, Mr. Davis, this is Galen Parker, your realtor's favorite realtor. I noticed that your house has been on the market for a couple of weeks. You're doing for sale by owner. Totally respect that. Do you mind allowing me to do an open house for your property this weekend? I was going to do one for another house that's in the MLS, but that went off the market in just 2 days because it was in the MLS, so it generated.
So it actually
do you mind?
sold.
See,
So it actually sold
so
fast.
It actually sold fast. I'm like, do you mind if I can just generate some equity? Because they're thinking, man, why isn't my house flying off? And that's a little like, hey, the other one was in that, but it went so fast. I couldn't even, they canceled my open house, and I've got all this stuff set up to promote something for your area. I just don't have a house. Do you mind if I just 2 hours? And then, like, once they hear that, they're like, oh yeah, sure, because no one's really called. I just had a bunch of people calling me to say, well, I rent it to them.
Yep.
And I'm like, because they're getting lit up by that way.
Golly
so
day.
this way, like, you just say, oh yeah,
Would you owner finance it?
Yeah, it's like these are actually.
Can I do rent to
pre-approved.
own?
It was like the guy actually was like, I don't know for sure, but I think one of the things they were willing to waive, like, inspection and stuff. There's just like a lot of stuff going on. And it was like, I don't know if that'll happen with yours, but these are just some of the caveats are going into offers. Would I be able to? And a lot of times they're like, yeah, I would love that. And then you can go what Jared said earlier about maybe getting creative with, like, listing agreements, timelines, making sure you have, like, your commissions set out. So a lot of good opportunities to do that. But for sale by owners, they are kind of contentious sometimes. And so this is a nice way. And if you're a newer agent who doesn't know how to talk to for sale by owners, one of the ones that I learned a long time ago is just do that. Like, hey, listen,
Yep.
I'm just I'm first starting the business. Do you mind if I just for free? I'll do it for free. I'll do the open house for free.
Yeah.
How much do open houses cost?
Nothing.
No, nothing. But just like, hey, listen, I'm just starting off. I'll do the open house for free. I'll put the signs out. I'll put the balloons on the door. I'll bake all the cookies and stuff. And they're just like, oh, I'll take pity on you, lowly first time realtor, and then lock them down, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, last secret. This is an extra one, a bonus secret. Midweek open houses.
Yeah,
I figured I would throw this thing in here because everybody always says, well, it's Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. Is it worth doing anything on an actual weekend?
Yes.
Yes, it is. We have
Weekday,
tried and true. We have tested We have done this.
We've read, we've experienced.
For the last couple months, we have been doing midweek open houses, Thursdays, Fridays, 5 to 7, and they have been great.
Wednesday night and Friday nights are killing it.
We've probably picked up no less than 4 to 5 different buyer seller people over the last month or so off of midweeks. I think the reasoning is that it's kind of easy to get off work and go run to an open house. Maybe sometimes on the weekends they're already busy with recreational stuff, with family stuff. They're out of town. It's summertime. But midweek they can a lot of times kind of run out after work, or when they get off work, come straight to the open house, check it out. You can also only check out with so many open houses on a Saturday, right? So if you've got 3 you want to see and they're all from 12 to 2, can you actually get to them all, right, from 12 to 2? So that's the other thing to keep in mind. So I would recommend, if you're not doing midweek open houses, to really consider doing some Wednesdays, some Thursdays, some Fridays, evenings, maybe even midday, but definitely the evenings 5 to 7. You could have some wine. You can make it a happy hour, however you want to do it. But we have been seeing killer results from midweek open houses.
That's the one regret I have from our flip. I never got to do like the neighborhood open house. It just schedule. I was like teaching that week and it just didn't work out. But at the next flip, I'm totally doing it.
Alrighty. Well, anything else, Galen?
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope we have provided you with value for your own real estate business, whether you have a team or you're a single agent. All of these tips can be applied. If you have questions,
you can reach me at __ the Davis Group on Instagram. You can email me at jared@centralvarealty.com. Feel free to like, subscribe, watch more of our videos, our podcasts, however you have to subscribe to us. If we can help you grow your team, please reach out. We'd love to partner with you at EXP.
I just thought of one thing.
Sure.
By the next time we record a podcast, it'll be post Tony Robbins.
Ooh, so
post Dallas.
We're going to be so pumped.
I mean, we're going to have so much to say to you. If you guys need to reach out to me, it's your realtor's favorite realtor, RVA. You can email me at galen@centralvarealty.com. We're going to be coming so fire. I think the next podcast. It's going to be amazing.
Good. All right, guys. Another episode of Mega Real Estate Talk. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
If you have a real estate question that you would like to ask Jared or Galen, reach out to them at jared@centralvarealty.com or galen@centralvarealty.com. Who knows? It may even be featured on an upcoming episode.